Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is a pretty interesting one in my opinion. It's about a hacker. Now, I've told many story times on this channel before about hackers and my experience with them, but this one has to be one of the dumbest hackers I've ever encountered in my entire life. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, leave a like on the video. And yeah, let's just jump into today's story time. So today's story time all starts off in 2016. Beginning of 2016 to be specific. Now at this time, things were a little bit different in the gaming community. Like nowadays, everyone uses Discord and uses that app to talk to their friends. But back in 2016, people use Skype still. Some of you might remember that, some of you might not. But for anyone that doesn't know what Skype was back then, or doesn't know what it is now, I'm sure most of you do. It was just an app similar to Discord where you could video chat your friends or talk to your friends on a call. And that's what me and all my friends would use. Now, the problem with Skype that Discord doesn't really have an issue with is people used to be able to track your IP through Skype. People used to be able to look up your name, like your Skype name, and just get your IP address. And if someone has your IP address, they can do some things with it. Some not so good things, like looking up your general location, DDoSing you, hitting you offline, messing with your internet, sometimes even doxing you and finding out your personal information. Like back in the day, you had to be careful when you used Skype, and I always was. But one day, I wake up in 2016, this all starts off as a normal day, I'm sitting in my room working on a YouTube video, and all of a sudden I get an email from Instagram, and it says, "Hey, are you trying to reset your password? If so, click here. If not, just ignore this." So I immediately start getting nervous, right? I'm like, shit, someone's trying to hack my stuff. So me being nervous, I go and I change my passwords on everything, just to make sure that I don't get hacked. And after I do that, I kick back in my chair, and I go back to doing my YouTube video. About 10 minutes after that, I get an email on my business email, and it notifies my phone. And the email subject read, "Urgent, please open." So I click on the message because I was curious, and I open it up. And it has a whole bunch of text, a whole bunch of stuff, like a paragraph of writing. And I'm just going to sum it up for you guys instead of reading the entire thing. It basically says, "I know who you are. I know all of your info. Here's your address. Here's your whole docs. Give me what I want or I'm going to hurt you," was basically what it said. And you could probably guess what he wanted. He wanted money. And he wanted a lot of it. He wanted like $5,000. And he wanted it in Bitcoin. Now, I read this and I was pretty nervous because some of it was true. Not everything in the email he sent me was all true. Like there was definitely some personal information that he got wrong. But there was a lot of it that he got right. Like he had my current address at the time. So when I read this email, I kind of freaked out. I was like, shit. I really only have two choices. I give this guy what he wants, and hopefully he leaves me alone for eternity, or I don't give him what he wants, and he posts this everywhere and tries to get me hurt. I actually had three options. I also had the option of paying him, and then him not leaving me alone, and he'll probably keep trying to blackmail me. So I just didn't know what to do. So I call up one of my friends who kind of knows a little bit about the hacking side of the internet. He didn't know a ton, but I didn't know who else to go to. So I called up one of my friends. Let's just call him Jared. I called up Jared and I was like, "Yo, Jared, this kid has my docs. He has my address. Like, he's threatening to like get me hurt. He wants money. He wants $5,000 in Bitcoin. What do I do?" And he's like, "Fuck, man, that's shitty. Like, what do you want to do?" I was like, "I don't know, man. That's why I'm calling you." He's like, "Oh, man, I don't know. I can't make that choice for you, bro." I was like, "I know, but like, I don't know what to do." He's like, "Well, do you know who's doing this to you? Like, do you know who it is? Like, who's messing with you?" I was like, "No, I just know their email." He goes, "What's their email? Send it to me." So I get this hacker's email that he sent the original email from, and I send it to my friend Jared. And he's like, "All right, man, I'm going to see what I can find about this dude, and if I find anything, I'll get back to you. In the meantime, just ignore him. Give me like 20 minutes. I'm like, "All right, man, I'll give you 20 minutes. So we hang up, and I'm just sitting in my bed, just basically having a full-blown panic attack because I don't know what to do. I feel like my life's falling apart. Like, I feel like my shit's about to get hacked. I feel like this hacker is going to blackmail me forever. Like, I just didn't know what to do, right? So 25 minutes later, I get a phone call from Jared. And I answer the phone, and before I can even say hello, he goes, "Yo, guess what?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "I have an idea, and I think it might work." I was like, "What is it?" He goes, "Dude, just trust me. Let's do this shit." I was like, "All right, what? What do you want to do?" He goes, "Get on Skype." So I get on Skype, and he drags me into a group call with him. And there was another friend of ours there as well. And we're all just kind of talking. And my friend starts telling me a little bit about this plan. What he wanted to do, basically, was get the hacker into a call with us so he could pull his IP. And from there, he kind of wanted to try and like out-hack the hacker. And I didn't think this was a very good idea, but I didn't know what else to do. So I was like, "All right, fuck it. Let's try it." So I emailed the hacker on my email, my business email. I emailed him back and I was like, hey man, can we just talk about this on Skype or something? Like, I'm down to help you out, but I'd rather talk about this, on Skype rather than just emailing back and forth. Are you down for that? And after I sent the email, I just waited for like 5 minutes. Me, my friend, and my other friend were all just in the call waiting for this hacker to email me back. And I was really hoping that he would email me back. Because like if he didn't, then the plan just wouldn't work. But guess what? 5 minutes later, I get an email back from none other than the hacker himself. And the email reads, sure, here's my Skype. Add me and let's call. So as fast as I possibly can, I add him on Skype. And I'm like, guys, I got his Skype. I got it. And my friend's like, all right, cool. Add him to the call. So I add him to the call. And this fucking dude joins with a voice changer on. This motherfucker joins the call. And he's like, I thought this was just going to be you and me, Austin. Why are there other people in here? Actually, it didn't sound like that. It was more like,
I thought it was just going to be you and me, Austin.
Yeah, whatever. You get the point. I'm not going to keep going with that. But yeah, anyway, he was mad because there was other people in the call and not just me and him. And he gets angry and he leaves immediately. And my friend starts freaking out. He's like, fuck, I wasn't able to get it. Like, my program's not working. I was like, fuck, so what do we do? He's like, no, man, not all hope is lost. All I needed was his Skype name. I could probably use like a Skype IP grabber. And guess what? He was able to. He went online and he found some Skype IP grabber website and he got it. Now, even though this hacker was an asshole and he kind of deserved it, don't be going and pulling people's IPs in any way, shape, or form. That's just fucked up and not nice to do. But anyway, yeah, my friend got this dude's IP, this hacker's IP, and he wasn't using a VPN, so his IP wasn't hidden. And with his IP, he was able to get a lot of information about the hacker. Pretty much everything I needed to know about him. He pretty much had all this info on this hacker the same way that the hacker had all this info on me. So my friend sends me all this info, and with that info, I copy it, I go on Skype, and I paste the message to the hacker with his info in it, all of his personal info. And I was like, hey man, two could play at this game. I'll delete this info about you, and I won't ever send it anywhere if you promise to do the same with mine. And he messages me back almost immediately and goes, please delete that. I'm sorry I tried to blackmail you. It was really wrong. I'm sorry. Says it twice. And I was like, yeah, man, it's fine. But don't ever do that again in the future to anybody, not just me. And let's go our separate ways. And he goes, okay, sounds good. So yeah, I deleted his info. He deleted mine. And we went our separate ways. But to this day, I still can't believe how dumb of a hacker this guy was. Like, what kind of hacker doesn't use a VPN using an app where your IP can be traced? Like, I forgot to mention that. I was using a VPN in the call because I knew he could get mine, and he wasn't. Like, that's just insane to me. Like, if you're truly a fucking hacker, you would think you'd want to hide your IP, but this guy just wasn't very good at his job. But yeah, in the end, the hacker learned his lesson and left me alone, and I went my separate way to have a nice, peaceful day after that. So yeah, in the end, everything was all good, everybody was okay, and basically the moral of the story is keep your accounts secure, keep everything safe, and Jared is the fucking greatest of all time. Literally, this whole story time is just about Jared being a fucking goat. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.
Like, what's up? They leave me out for the day.